Yo, what's going on? It's Rodney G. Albert the Third. Welcome to my channel. I want to talk about what I just saw on the internet, man, with Erykah Badu, because it's relative to another social problem that we have going on in America. I was telling a friend of mine recently what I noticed, especially now, social media, podcasts, Red Pill, Kevin Samuels, all of these different trends are exposing a lot of things. And for people who are still growing and gaining understanding, it's exposing certain ideas that are becoming, we're becoming aware of. And one of the things, as I mentioned to somebody, was that a tremendous issue we have, black women in particular. Now, I'm not blaming or bashing. We all got issues. But it's an issue where black women have attitude, don't have wisdom. It's far more common that black women have attitude. They got all the attitude in the world. They got all the spunk, right? They can fight, throw hands, jump on counters, and scream and yell and tell you all the stuff they ain't gonna do. But when it comes to actual wisdom, they don't have that these days. When it comes to actually knowing the value of certain principles, the value of certain values, it's all lost. Women don't know the value of motherhood. They don't know the value of being a woman who can manage the home. They took home economics out of school, so on and so forth. But the reason why I'm talking about Erykah Badu, I just saw this video where she's on stage twerking and dancing with Meg Thee Stallion, right? Now, I believe they're both from Texas, so, Texas artists. Now, look, I'm not saying Erykah Badu is perfect. I don't believe that. Erykah Badu is a person. She's a woman, right? And I know that some people have gone, deep into her relationships with her kids and her baby fathers. I'm not talking about none of that, because she's a person just like I'm a person. What I'm talking about is that in the black society, there's this veneer of spirituality, and there's this assumption of certain virtues and assumption of certain values and spiritual essence that a lot of black people hold on to. And people like Erykah Badu and the whole neo-soul movement that, kind of rolled out in the mid to late 90s, she was kind of one of the biggest artists in that niche, right? And, what Tariq Nasheed calls them, what do you call them? Herbal tea chicks, right? These women who give this facade of being spiritual, of this facade of having this essence with them. But when it comes to practical actions, or when it comes to brass tacks, they're just like everybody else. And like I said before, black women have this thing where they got a lot of attitude, but don't have a lot of wisdom. But then you have women like Erykah Badu that presents themselves to be more wise than the average woman. And she on stage twerking with Meg Thee Stallion. And I'm not saying this to say that she actually is a more virtuous woman than Meg Thee Stallion, because she's not. She's just a woman. She's an entertainer. It's unfortunate that in black society, in the black communities in America, we accept these facade, this non-realistic spirituality, and people like that kind of give it I'm not gonna say they're role models in that part of that genre. Well, they kind of are. They're kind of role models and influencers of that genre, and this has been going on since the mid 90s. That's what I'm saying, But the reality is, it's nothing there. It's no there, as they say. And you got this whole trend now on social media with these people who say I'm spiritual and I'm not religious, and people like Erykah Badu was one of the, she had that essence. That's all I'll say. I'm not laying it all on her, but she carried that essence and made it, a thing. And a lot of people from that time, when she was really popular, when she first popped off, up until now we got social media, we got Instagram and TikTok, and with all these different channels and pages and people professing this spirituality. And not only that, but a lot of these people have this kind of animosity towards religion, and they love to profess, I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. And they have this kind of anger, some of them, towards traditional religious people, towards Christian people, towards Muslim people, right? But at least the traditional religions plainly tell you right from wrong. Do we live up to these things? Most of us don't. But at least the traditions clearly tell you. And like I said before, nowadays these women, they have attitude, but they don't have no wisdom. They don't know what anything means anymore. They don't know the purpose for anything. They don't know the purpose of what a man is. They don't know the purpose of what a woman is. They don't know the purpose of how to treat a child. None of that stuff. And if you think I'm exaggerating, okay, fine. But just go down the YouTube rabbit hole. Let the algorithm serve up to you local news from around the nation. And look at the crime wave we have now. They just had an instance where some teenage kids, 14 and 15 years old, and a 10-year-old was holding the camera, beat a man to death on the streets of Philadelphia at 2 a.m. in the morning. Okay? So when I say that the women today have lost, they don't have no wisdom, they don't know what anything is for, right? They don't know what they're for. They don't know what men are for. They don't know what relationships are for. And then the children are born not knowing anything, having no place in the world. And then black people let their guard down because they have this entitlement to this essence, this idea of spirituality, but they fight against and they hate the traditions that actually teach you rudimentary and fundamental morals, values, right? Even if you're not a deep spiritual person, at least you know right from wrong. And then you got some people who are deep spiritual people. But then you have this culture in the black society where you look to people like Erykah Badu, like these rappers, like these R&B singers, like these ditzy behind reality stars, and think that the nonsense that they put out, you allow them to be influential and to set a standard, and then follow that foolishness. And then you hate and fight against the old school traditions that really, laid the groundwork for all of antiquity for those who willing to follow. You abandon that. You hate that. You follow the liberals and the progressives into thinking that everything old is bad and everything new is improved. But that's actually wrong. That's actually the wrong way. So then you have an artist like Erykah Badu, who represents this kind of, herbal tea, incense and, voodoo and all this stuff, right? Which, all of that stuff has a place. But you on stage twerking with Meg Thee Stallion. If you was a real person into any of these spiritual realms, you would know that a person like Meg Thee Stallion or Cardi B, what they represent, they don't fit. They don't fit. They shouldn't mix. They shouldn't mix. Real women who understand the purpose of spiritual essence, of spirituality and spiritual tradition would know, no, you can't mix these two things. You can't be on stage twerking with Meg Thee Stallion and you're a spiritual person. And like I said, I'm not saying Erykah Badu is that completely. I'm saying that she was a part of that cultural dynamic that a lot of people are still captivated by today when they think they can have the idea of spirituality without any practical applications of morality and think it's okay. And it actually works against us. It works against us. And we really, in most cases, don't have the practical moral essence or the spiritual essence. We don't have either of them. We just have a facade. We have we just wear it, So in essence, in actuality, people who claim spirituality, who claim, all of these exotic ideas are no different than anybody else in the world. And then they turn around and point the finger at a Muslim person or a Christian person or a person who has a religion, and they say that person is deluded. And some people are deluded, but a lot of people are just trying to be practical. So I just wanted to share those thoughts. I know this is a new channel. This is my first video, but I just wanted to get it out there to go ahead and get this new channel popping. If you made it this far, thank you. If what I said didn't make sense, man, leave a comment. I'll catch you on the next one. Please pardon me. Yes, I'm in the hood hotel. Don't even worry about all that. Peace.